Hi guys, so I'm going to read Strange Tales number 108. So this is the first appearance of a minor villain called the Painter. There's two things I'd like to say. First, the cover, the Fantastic Four fighting the Human Torch. I never, fully read through this yet, but from looking through, speed reading it, I think the Fantastic Four are only on, the final page, the final two pages, and the first page. But, yeah, it's kind of a misleading cover, because I don't think he even fights the Fantastic Four in this. But, and another thing, I was originally going to give him a French accent, because I never really did, a French accent on the channel in any of the YouTube videos. But, I learned that his real name's, German or Dutch or something, so I'll just give him, a German accent. But the Human Torch meets the Painter of 1,000 Perils.
Get him, Thing! We must destroy the torch!
Only I could make the Fantastic Four turn against the Human Torch.
Mix the artistic skill of a Leonardo da Vinci, the amazing photographic accuracy of a modern high-speed camera, and the soul of Satan himself, and you'll realize why the Human Torch is destined to become the still-life victim of the Painter of 1,000 Perils.
There! Looks like a painting of the torch is finished, doesn't it? But that's the eerie part of it. It's not just a canvas picture. It's the real thing. 3 members of the Fantastic Four will soon destroy the fiery member of their famed quartet. And it is I who's causing this fatal double cross with my magic pigments.
Sorry, Brett, but this is curtains. You won't leave this asbestos lined cell alive.
No, don't! Reed, Thing, you're my friends. Sue, you're my own sister. You can't be out to defeat me. Plot Stan Lee, script R. Burns, art Jack Kirby, inking Dick Ayers, lettering Terry Sisniks. Day in, day out, the battle between criminal and law officer in the big city has one customary ending. Okay, you hoods, into the patrol wagon.
We didn't stand a chance of getting away. 3 minutes after we pulled the job, the cops had a patrol car, a prowl car roadblocking every intersection in town.
And in the ceaseless combat between good and evil, the Human Torch does his share to bring about the defeat of the underworld.
Quick, Torch! Those hijackers are escaping with a truckload of precious furs.
Relax, and leave him to me.
Flame on! Holy smokes, the Human Torch has spotted us! And look what he's doing! He's melting the asphalt highway right in front of us.
Seconds after,
oh my gosh, the truck just bogged down and we can't get out. The road's bubbling like red-hot molten lava.
That night, at a big charity masquerade ball.
Stop the music. This is a stick-up. Everybody line up against the wall.
Good gracious! Those foolish thieves don't realize that Johnny Storm...
Shh, Ellen. They'll find out soon enough that the Human Torch is here. So do what they say. If I attack them now, they might hurt someone with a stray bullet. Presently, as the crooks collect a fortune in gems.
Thanks, folks, for being so generous. You can start dancing again when we leave. Ha ha ha.
That thug timed his laugh perfectly, Ellen, 'cause the fun is about to begin.
Flame on! Look, it's the Human Torch.
An instant later, in the lobby, you guys can't run fast carrying those heavy sacks. So, I'll just lighten your loads.
The Torch, he's cut our flute with the pairs of flaming scissors.
Stay away, Torch, or we'll open fire on those innocent bystanders.
Look who's talking about fire. All I have to do is puff a few times and...
Smoke rings! They're encircling us like lassos. I can't breathe. I can't see.
Smoke's overcoming me. Oh.
Later, when the police arrive...
Thanks again, Torch, for putting the heat on the crooks in this city. They should realize by now, with you helping the police, they haven't a chance. But they don't, Lieutenant, because if crooks weren't stupid, they wouldn't be crooks. Mark my words, right now some master criminal or evil genius is figuring out some so-called brilliant scheme to get rid of me. It's happened before. The wizard tried to turn mankind against me. The destroyer also took a whack at doing me in. Pastepot Pete, and even Zemu, despot of the fifth dimension, tried to destroy me. Luckily, they all failed. But I'm not kidding myself. Sooner or later, some other kooky character, bent on gaining power or undeserved wealth, will try to erase me from the picture. And who knows? Maybe next time my luck will run out, and he'll succeed. Prophetic words. For the next day, at the uptown headquarters of Gangster Chief Scar Tobin.
Bless the Torch. He's making things so tough, we can't even steal a nickel from a blind man's cup without getting caught.
Hold it, Scar. Someone's at the door. Stand back while I see who it is. Knock, knock. It's Wilhelm Van Veal, the counterfeiter the Torch caught, but who busted out of jail last week.
You have an excellent memory, punk, and so have I. I cannot forget the Torch, or forgive him for capturing me.
Nobody's interested in what you forget or forgive, Van Veal. The cops are always looking for you, and since you always had a reputation for carelessness, you probably left the trail. They're following to my place now, so take off.
Sorry, Scar. I'm not afraid of the police or you.
You ain't, eh? Next Sam, Eddie, throw the creep out.
So you're ordering 3 of your gorillas to eject me, eh? Scar, you've got a lot to learn about Wilhelm Van Veal, the greatest painter on Earth.
Next moment, look what he painted, and at lightning speed. A 3-headed gorilla with 6 arms.
Very observant of you. Now observe what happens next. I'm issuing telepathic orders to the painting to throw you 3 gorillas out.
The painting's coming alive. It's heading for us.
Exactly. Whatever I paint miraculously becomes veal and carries out my telepathic commands.
Yow! Oh, psh!
Now, I need only make a magic pass and the phenomenon disappears as quickly as it appeared.
This is only some kind of phony magician's trick. The sap's got us hypnotized so that we believe any illusion he stuffs into our heads. Might get rid of 'em.
Illusions, eh? You fools need more convincing. So, Mike, I'll paint a really big gun under your trigger finger instead of that 38 revolver. Here's a 16-inch naval cannon. It might be a bit inconvenient to hold.
Yo, it weighs tons! Idiot! That hunk of artillery will break through every ceiling and floor till it hits the basement. Then the cops will swarm up here and get us.
Don't panic, Scar. As I told you, Wilhelm Van Veal is a genius, and his paints are pure magic. Open the window and collect your hoods. We are leaving here on the magic carpet.
And so...
Okay, Van Veal, I'm convinced you're not a phony, but how do you discover those magic paints?
I owe it all to the Torch. You see, in the beginning, I tried to be a great artist, but everybody laughed at my work. They said I had no talent. So, to make money, I copied famous paintings and tried to sell them as vigils. But the police were most unsympathetic.
You're too careless to be a good forger, Van Veal. You forgot to give the Mona Lisa a smile, and you colored the blue boy green.
So I went to prison for 3 years. When I got out, I turned to counterfeiting, at which I was more of a success. These $1 bills are great, Van Wiel. We'll pass 50...
Oh, okay, so that's a gangster.
These $1 bills are great, Van Wiel. We'll pass 50 grand of them easily. But we could really clean up on $5 bills.
Good. I'll get to work on an engraving of Lincoln. Well, the fin proved my undoing. One day, to test the dough, I went to a bookstore. Well, a teenage kid held a part-time job.
This money is counterfeit, mister. I'll have to phone the police so they can question you about where you got it.
Drat that brat. I can't meet the police. I'm carrying 50 bills just like it. How do you know the bill is phony, son?
Because Abe Lincoln has long sideburns, and this Lincoln face has short sideburns. So just stay put while I get a policeman.
Listen, little fool. Make one outcry, and it will be your last. Just walk out of here quietly, and get into the car parked in the front. The kid seemed meek and frightened, but when we reached the hideout, it was a different story.
Lots of money here, but if you ask me, it'll be too hot to pass.
He's setting fire to the boodle with his fingertips.
A second later, the kid turned out to be...
Van Wiel, you nitwit. You know who you brought back here? The Human Torch.
Right. I only went along with Van Wiel so he could lead me to your hideout.
Blast your torch. I'll get you for tricking me. But then, a fantastic thing happened. As I emptied my revolver at the human furnace...
The bullets ain't hitting them. They're melting.
Sure. See the molten lead dripping down? I can intensify my flames to any temperature. Bang, 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 bang. But the hotter it is, the faster my flame burns out. So, to play safe, I'll just imprison you in a hoop of fire to keep you here till the police arrive.
Okay, Van Wiel. That explains how the Torch sent you to prison and why you hate him. But how'd you find this magic paint?
Well, while I was in prison, I looked for a way to break out. Luckily, I found a weak section of the flooring in my cell. It took me months, after smuggling in a shovel and flashlight, to dig a tunnel under the prison wall. Then, one night, I broke into the strange underground cavern. Hey, there's a mural on the wall, showing aliens from some other planet soaring into space, leaving Earth behind. I examined the mural. I can tell the age of the picture from its style. It's about 1,000,000 years old. Something in the sealed atmosphere of this cavern preserved the mural to this day. I looked at the brushes, then the paints. They were as fresh as the day they'd been mixed. Then I tried to decipher the hieroglyphic writing on the wall. It's similar to the ancient Egyptian picture writing, which I've studied. But what I've decoded sounds fantastic. It says the paint has magical properties. Whatever the artist illustrates with the pigments comes to life, and under the complete command of the artist. If that's true, these aliens traveled through space by painting their voyages to and fro. But something must have happened to them before they left the cavern. Maybe some prehistoric creature got them. Suddenly, there was a sound like thunder, and I whirled in terror. There had been a cave-in. I was entombed.
I'll never dig my way back to the prison, or to freedom now. I'll die of lack of oxygen in a few hours.
There's only one way out, if it works. Desperately, I began to paint a picture of myself, moving unharmed to the surface. To my shock, the brushes moved at lightning speed. These paints have other supernatural powers.
They make an artist draw with many times his normal speed.
To my amazement, I felt myself shoot upwards, feeling no pain, no impediment, though I was moving through sheer walk.
It's working! The magic works!
I surfaced in the woods just beyond the penitentiary. That rumbling noise sounds like the cave-in spread to the cavern, destroying it and its mule forever. I just escaped in time to become the most powerful man on earth. That's why I sought you out, Scar. Your mob will be the first recruits for a huge underworld army. I'm going to lead and rule. But before I'm through, crime, not justice, will prevail on Earth, and I'll be the king of crime. As for the Human Torch, I'll make him a test case, and you'll be my eyewitness. I could destroy the torch instantly, but that would be too simple a finish. No, before he's through, I'll amuse myself by driving him mad with worry and fear.
And so, days later, as Johnny Storm shops for hi-fi equipment, calling all police cars in the torch. If he's listening, jewel robbery taking place on the corner of Main and 7th Streets. The torch is listening all right. That jewelry shop is just a block away. But as the torch streaks to the hold-up site,
Here comes the torch now! Is he in for a surprise?
it's Scar Tobin and his gang. But where did that queer flying contraption resembling the Fantastic Four's Fantasticar come from? Then, amazingly, an even stranger thing happens. Flickering fireflies! Gigantic fire hydrants rising out of the pavement, surrounding me. At the same moment, outside town,
Now, at my telepathic command, the huge hydrants will douse the torch with water like a gargantuan needle shower.
a split instant later, in the city, I'm being hit with torrents of water from all directions. They're dousing my flames. Then, as the bewildered youth flames out,
He's fallen into the gutter! What a come down for the famous torch! Meanwhile, we escape with 100 grand worth of ice.
lucky I had just enough flame to break my fall.
Look, the giant fire hydrants are disappearing.
If my bones didn't ache from that fall, I'd swear this is some kind of hallucination. But since others saw what I saw, it must have been real. Later, in the mountains.
You did it, Van Veal. Everything happened as you said it would. And look at our profit.
Fool! Do we need to steal things when a second's worth of painting gives us a king's ransom?
Then, as the annoyed master painter makes a pass in the air,
Look, he's given us millions in precious metals and stones.
Bah! Your greed disgusts me. All you think of is riches. With one telepathic order, I'll make the treasure vanish.
Oh my gosh, it's gone now.
Don't worry, Numbskull. You'll get even more if you obey orders. Be quiet while I think of another way to plague the torch.
next day, as Johnny Storm visits a seaside carnival with his friends,
Holy cow! Those mechanical creatures are coming to life.
don't panic, the Human Torch will handle him.
Flame on!
All beasts are terrified by fire, so I'll stampede those monsters into the sea. Meanwhile, many miles away,
If my timing is correct, now is the moment to hit the Human Torch with a tidal weight of sand, enough to extinguish the flames of a volcano.
and so, as Van Veal issues a telepathic order to his picture,
It can't be. The creatures are vanishing, just as those giant hydrants did. But great Scott! The beach is rising up to engulf me. My flames are being smothered by the equivalent of 1,000,000 buckets of sand. that moment, elsewhere.
Okay, Vanville. The torch is now buried under tons of sand. Why don't you settle for that and get your revenge over with?
Because I have a more perfect finish for him.
And so,
I couldn't have taken much more of that sand, but luckily for me, it vanished, and I'm still alive. But there's something familiar about these supernatural occurrences. I must recall what it is. I've got to think.
next morning in the hills.
Well, here it is, Scar, my masterpiece. 3 members of the Fantastic Four will themselves destroy their own friend, the Torch.
Okay, genius. Make your magic pass, and then goodbye, Torch. Torch wherever he is.
Soon, in an asbestos-lined cell that comes out of nowhere to imprison the fiery hero.
You're wasting your time trying to break out of the cell, Torch. You're trapped.
Okay, so the events of this story do happen. Yeah, I didn't notice it. But anyway,
Mr. Fantastic, Thing, Invisible Girl, what are you doing here? We're gonna finish you.
Oh, we're gonna finish you.
Right, kid. It's curtains for you.
But you're my partners. I'm one of the Fantastic Four. Have you all gone batty?
Batty, eh? Just watch.
Duck, that grenade'll finish him off for good.
That did it. Now, let's tell the world that the Human Torch is done for, thanks to us.
We hear you talking, big man.
Finally, in the lonely hills outside of town.
And so it is with shock and sorrow that we must tell the world that the Human Torch has met with an untimely end.
Hear that, Vanville? You got your vengeance just as you planned. Now suppose we eliminate the rest of the Fantastic Four.
A terrific plan, boys. But what's Vanville going to paint with?
My paints! My magic paints! They're burning up! It's the Human Torch! He ain't dead, like the radio said.
It's impossible. I drew a picture of the Torch's finish. He must have perished.
No, Vanville. Only a living picture of me. A picture which I myself painted last night on this easel, after I listened in on your little plot and waited till you all fell asleep. Having learned all about your magic paints, I used them to create my duplicate, made it come to life with a wave of your magic brush, and it was that supernatural image of me which your Fantastic Four figures destroyed.
But how did you figure out that the pearls which menaced you were my doing?
Because they all had one thing in common, which finally reminded me of you, Vanville. Carelessness. Plain old ordinary carelessness. Just as you forged careless copies of famed portraits, and carelessly left out Lincoln's long sideburns on a counterfeit fiver. The giant hydrants you painted had no nozzles. Your beach lacked little litter baskets. And even the Fantastic Four had no number 4 in their costumes. All a result of your carelessness, Vanville. So, yeah, actually, I was right, actually. They only really appeared on one page. But, so I combed 50 square miles of the area till I found your hideout, your crooked buddies and your paints, which, like your evil plans, are now going up in smoke forever. Yes, Vanville, you will soon sit like this in a state penitentiary cell, a forlorn portrait in misery who framed himself with a slight assist from a humble artist in crime fighting, who signs himself the Human Torch. And the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.